always thinking, oh yeah, camper vans. They're lighter, they climb better, they get better gas efficiency. But I've been watching this guy. He climbed that hill so slow that he's had to stay in the turn lane the whole time with his emergency blinkers on. I don't know if he's too heavy, underpowered, having some sort of engine trouble, or I don't know. But I'm glad I don't have that camper van right now. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's probably some real minor thing, and this guy just doesn't know what he's doing. He obviously didn't even shut his lid properly. Dang. A fucking $100,000 four-wheel drive sportsmobile, and you can't even maintain it right. That's pretty sad. Okay, just a little bit more Mammoth Lakes for you. There's a restaurant here called Roberto's. Very good Mexican food. I've got the carne asada burrito. It's rice, beans, and chunks of carne asada. I'm sorry, no rice. Just beans, meat, tortilla, and cheese. They also give you sour cream, guacamole, and hot sauce, which are normally put on the burrito. But since I'm not going to eat this whole thing today, well, I'll eat it all today, just not right now. I got my sides on the side so I can keep them cold and keep this warm, and everything stays nice and happy and can be reheated later safely. This is an excellent restaurant. If you ever find yourself in Mammoth Lakes, you got to check it out, especially if you're in the mood for Mexican food. Do whatever you like. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. Oh yeah, we've also got good Wi-Fi here. It's a two-story restaurant. You can see a little bit of it there. And they've got good Wi-Fi, so we're downloading some of our shows. And if you can see through all the dog slobber on the windows, that's what the sign looks like. So we're just here in town getting some gas. I'm pretty sure this used to be a Pace Arrow also. I've heard about this place. You catch fish and they'll smoke them for you. I like how they did the wood on the outside. It's kind of ghetto, but I kind of love it. And I got fishing poles permanently mounted, but the reason I stopped is, if you notice, it's got the point on the front, which makes me think it is or was a Pace Arrow to begin with. Now, obviously, it's not as old as mine, but with that point, I'm going to say it's a 70s model at least, probably late 70s, 77, 78. You see the point on mine has 2 layers, and on this one it's just straight down. But I'm pretty sure that's a Pace Arrow, all right. Okay, this has been just a horrendously long day. Not bad, not even hard, just long. I wanted to get back to camp by like noon or 1, and it's closer to 5. These wooden things, you'll see them all along around here. They're to prevent wildlife from just running directly into the freeway. Although I don't really understand how they work, because you would think they would run this way to the freeway, not this way. But I'm sure they know what they're doing. Maybe these divert them to places where they have animal crossing signs. Hell, I don't know. Anyways, this is just another little thing anybody should know if they ever show up in Mammoth. We are at the water company. The very first real road, I believe it's Meridian, but I could be wrong on that. The very first real road, actual road that you pull off, that you can turn left as you're coming into Mammoth. The water and sewage dump is on this side, the can recycling's on that side. They have a $5 dump station. So for $5, which is fairly cheap for dumping your septic, it used to be free. You could dump your stuff right here, clean out your tanks, and even to this day, they still have free drinking water. Now, a lot of people are a little worried about the drinking water being right there and the poop washing water being over here. But these are completely separate waters. This one is potable. It's filtered by the water company, which is whose lot we're in. So you don't get much cleaner water than directly from the company. And me, I'm a water snob. I'll fill up a bunch of jugs and I'll pour it directly for the dogs. But for myself, I put it in a Brita filter. And not even so much to filter it, because I've read they really don't do that much. But more than anything, just having it in the filter will keep out any like floaties that happen to be in there. But more than anything, it gives me cold water whenever I'm ready for a glass of cold water. I drink a lot more water if it's cold than I do if it's not cold. Anywhere you go here, you're going to find weird stuff growing, especially if there's a water source nearby. This thing's taller than I am. So anyways, do whatever you want. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. Watch my videos if you ever come to Mammoth, because it'll give you a few places that are definitely worth checking out. Go ahead, click like and subscribe if you're still watching. And if any of these are interesting, share them. I'd like to get my subscriber count up a little more. I recently broke 200, so I'm pretty darn happy with myself, but that's the way goals are. Once you reach one, you've got to get to the next. Next goal is 500. So that's going to take a while, when it took 6 months to get to 2. Anyways, I'm going to get back out of here and get me a camp spot before it gets any later. Okay, so here's another thing about Mammoth. They have extra taxes for everything. In this case, the tourism assessment tax. Now, this is my receipt from Vaughn's. Vaughn's is a Safeway, same thing. Just like Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are the same thing. The only difference is what side of the country you find them on. Now, it's only 1.5%. It was a total of 26 cents on my $110 bill. But it's the fact that they sneak it on there that kind of bugs me. They also have what they call a non-resident resident tax. If you rent a campsite in town at one of the private campgrounds, RV parks, the park right near Rite Aid charges $43 a night. Well, this was 2 years ago. It may be different now. They charged $43 a night. The non-resident resident tax was an additional $10 and brought it up to from $43 to $53. So they're getting you every place they can. Same with gas. Right now, Mammoth's gas is $5.49. Everywhere else in the state, it's like maybe $3.25. Propane in Mammoth is $4.10 a gallon right now. So thankfully they have a lot of free camping and other free things to make it worth coming up here. Good fishing and lots of hot springs and long camping stay limits, because they make sure to get that money from you in other ways.